Kanda. Kanda. Oh, hey. So, just doing some light reading. I wasn't going to dig too far into the book. I'm not that stupid. Or am I? Yeah, that's what happens when some idiot reads from the passages of this book. Bad things. So yeah, why are we here? We're here to talk about The Evil Dead and what happens to 5 friends when they go to a cabin in the woods to have a great time and they end up getting raped by a tree and tortured by demons. Let's do it. And This is not what it looks like. Holy shit, The Evil Dead. When I was 10 years old and I seen this movie for the first time, it scared the absolute fuck out of me. Like, I couldn't believe the things I was seeing in this movie. Like the demons, oh my god, they're so over the top and so stupid. You look at them now and it's just like, they're really laughable. But back then, yeah, it scared the shit out of me. Like, I was terrified, but for some reason, I kept going back to this movie. I absolutely loved it. Loved this, loved Evil Dead 2, and of course, Army of Darkness. But I just kept rewatching it. I just loved how this movie was just able to have all these different crazy, in-your-face horror elements that you really don't see in a lot of horror movies, because director Sam Raimi has like this specific style that you could see in this movie and then also in his later movies, to where it's just so in your face. He does all these weird and crazy fucking camera angles. I mean, he went out of his way, him and Bruce Campbell both, because they had a limited budget. I think they started out with like $100,000, which, yeah, it is a lot of money. But when you look at a movie like this back then, you know, it takes a lot more, obviously, to make a really good movie with really good special effects. And back then, the special effects weren't all that great because we don't have the technology that we have now. So they had to work with what they had, and they had to build all these weird camera rigs to do all these different angles and go over the water, and how they did like the demonic force. Like Sam Raimi at one point rides a dirt bike through the cabin and hits Bruce with it. And I mean, it's things like that you just don't do in movies anymore. Back then they used real guns, real ammunition to shoot the windows out, or to shoot at the demons, kind of, but not really. But still, just those things you don't ever see anybody do anymore. Yeah, people would obviously get hurt if you film movies like that nowadays. I absolutely love how this movie is just able to take like simple things, like simple makeup effects, like they wore like these contact lenses that were bigger than their eye to give like the effect of the demonic eyes. And then of course they used all these random things to do the makeup on the demons, and like these random claymation effects that you see later on in the movie that don't necessarily hold up well, but still it adds to the charm of the movie. Like Sam Raimi, he just has like this weird direction, as I've said, where he just has like this goofy Three Stooges type of style that he uses. Now granted, there's really not too much comedy in this movie. Well, at least it's not intentional. There is a few comedic moments here and there, but it's mostly unintentional because of just the way that they filmed this movie. I mean, all these actors, they literally locked themselves in this cabin and for like, I don't know, a good while, and just stayed there just so they could finish the movie. Now halfway through production, they had to go get more money and figure out how they were going to finish this movie. And a lot of times they, you know, just kind of used what they had and just did certain things to where they could film a little bit here and there. That's why if you watch this movie, you can kind of tell like a lot of the actors' hair changes, like it goes from like long to short or something like that, or their clothes change from one scene to the next. You know, certain things like that that are in here, but also, again, adds to the charm of the movie because you can just tell that they put their blood, sweat, and tears literally in this movie. I mean, they were using real things like axes and the guns and everything to just film the movie. And again, you can't really do that nowadays. The way Sam Raimi likes to direct his movies, he likes to just have his actors suffer. He always says, he always likes to beat the shit out of Bruce all the time just to piss him off, just so he could get something out of him, and because he likes, to get him angry or upset or sad or whatever emotion that he's going for. He just likes to throw that in their face so he can get it, because it feels real and feels sincere. And you can tell in this movie that's exactly what you get. The blood, the gore, just over the top crazy fucking shit that they are able to pull off with the body parts and everything flying, and just how like they were able to chop up this girl here, and it's just fucking insane. It really is. Like it goes so far over the top, and yes, it can be laughable, it can be ridiculous, but it's fucking terrified, man. And just the blood curdling screams that the demons let out when they're in pain, it just gets under my fucking skin, but I like it at the same time. It's just so well done. Sam Raimi does not shy away from violence or blood and guts or anything, and I would honestly put him pretty much neck and neck with Tarantino. Two totally different directors, but when it comes to just violence and over the top and just fucking insanity, they do not shy away from it. They do it two different ways, but still very effective. I love the way they do it. And Sam Raimi, it shows you right here just his future of being a fantastic director, because he is just fucking awesome, and he does such a great job with this movie. And that right there tells you right here that it doesn't matter how much money you have or whatever you have at your disposal. You can make a great fucking movie, even if it might not look the best, or it might not have everything that a lot of these other movies have with special effects and money and everything else. But still, a lot of people don't want that. There's a lot of people out there, myself included. I love good special effects, of course, but I also love movies like this that just go for broke and are made from the heart and just take their time to make something truly special, regardless of how it looks in the end, as long as it matters to them that they got it made the way they wanted to make it. And to some of us, we appreciate it, and that's all that matters. And I really appreciate all the hard work and effort that went into this, and those effects and fucking everything, man. It's just I really love this shot right here where Sam Raimi's up in the rafter and he just goes to the camera, and you can just hear these effects like whoo, 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 whoo. I love that. That's one thing, again, Sam Raimi does so well, is the sound effects. The sound effects in this movie are just so fucking loud, and yes, over the top at times, and maybe annoying to some, but still, just how they're just so fucking in your face, and just the way he does it is just insane. I honestly don't even know how he pulled all this off. I really don't. I mean, fuck, I would have never been able to do any of this. It's so fucking great. Now, one thing I really don't like about this movie, but I do like it in a way, but I don't, is Ash. Now, because you watch the sequels and you see the TV show and everything else, and you see how Ash is now. But in this first movie, he's not really like that at all. He's just a regular guy. Now, granted, when they made this movie, it was because they were just going to do a one and done. They were getting together, just making a movie. It had nothing to do with Ash becoming what he is today. And the movie honestly didn't make a lot of money at first. It kind of didn't really make any. And Sam Raimi was trying to show it to whoever he could, whoever would watch it. It wasn't until horror master himself, Stephen King, seen this movie where it really took off and actually started to make decent money. It actually gained a lot of attention and now is considered one of the greatest cult horror movies ever made. And for good reason. And Stephen King was right. He seen a really good fucking horror movie and it caught his eye. And if it catches his eye at that point in time, when this movie came out, of course people are going to be like, fuck yeah, Stephen King's seen it and he liked it, we're going to go see it. Fuck yeah. But yeah, man, I just love how they were able to, start from nothing and just gain like this massive fucking following and just spawn these sequels and a TV show. It's just amazing how far it's came. It could have just been a one and done. But as I've said, yeah, I don't like the Ash character in this movie that much, because again, he's not the Ash that you're used to. But at the same time, I still like what they did with the characters and even with Ash for what they had and what they were just going to do a one and done. But of course it made money, eventually, and then of course, studio picked it up and then they made Evil Dead 2, which is technically a remake and a sequel, but we'll get into that when I do the Evil Dead 2 review. What a lot of people might not realize is, spoiler alert, Ash actually dies in this movie. Now, I know, it's crazy, right? But just the way that they were doing it, and they were only going to do it a one and done movie, you know, they killed Ash, and again, he wasn't the hero or the, you know, the chainsaw wielding fucking ass kicker that we all know and love today. He was just a regular dude. And I liked how they did that, though, even though I hate it, but I like it at the same time, because they were able to just kill the main guy. You know, you thought he was going to make it out alive, but he doesn't. He just dies. And when I was a kid, they used to confuse me, like, how the fuck, okay, he died, but he comes back, he goes back to the cabin, and everything else in part 2, yeah, that's pretty much why, you know, they were just going to do a one and done, and it obviously didn't work out that way, and I'm glad that it didn't, because we wouldn't have all the Ash that we have right now. But anyways, in the end, guys, this movie is just so gruesome. It's over the top. It's excellent. I absolutely dig it. Still to this day, it has its problems, but I overlook those problems because I understand the issues and the fucking stress and everything that they went through to make this movie happen. So that makes me appreciate all the problems that it did have, because the good outweighs the bad. Now, guys, let me know in the comments below what you think of the Evil Dead, the original Evil Dead. Do you love it? Do you hate it? Do you think it's stupid? Do you just can't stand it? Let me know in the comments below. I'd really love to know your thoughts. And look out for my future reviews of Evil Dead 2, Army of Darkness, and of course the Ash vs. Evil Dead TV show, and the remake, or remake sequel, whatever you want to call it. Let me know in the comments below your thoughts. And as always, if you like this, please like and subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification bell, that way you know when I upload a video. And until next time, shop smart, shop S-smart. I'll try to get to my dreams, try to get